Hello and welcome back to Gapeys Grow Room. We've been super busy over the last month. We've gotten 14, 10, 20 trays moved out of the grow room and starting to get those acclimated outside. We're still seeing really cold temperatures at night, especially this week. It got down to 33 this morning, and tomorrow we're supposed to see 31 degrees. It's still fairly nice during the day, so we are able to take them out during the day. We've also been getting a lot of rain, so the cloudy skies is really good for getting things acclimated. That kind of introduces them to the sunlight more slowly. But if the sun does come out, then I have to protect those starts a little bit still because they haven't seen much sunshine. So I'm happy to have more room in the grow room, but we've already filled up all of the shelves with more starts with all the repotting that I've been doing. So let's take a look and see what we have. Here we have our fig shelf. So this is where I had some onions and other things, and those have all been moved outside. So all that's left now are the fig cuttings, and we've had a lot more growth since last month. We've had some new additions that I've moved up here as well. This one here is the newest one. I just moved this up here under the lights just in the last couple days. This is the yellow long neck. Everything is doing really well. We did lose a couple of fig cuttings. They got roots, but eventually the roots just kind of dried up. I'm not sure why, but they didn't make it. But I did have multiples of those varieties, so I still have a few left of those. The one that's doing the best is probably this one here. This one is the Vern's Brown Turkey, and let's take a look at the roots here. So we've got lots and lots of roots there. So we'll be ready to pot that up into a bigger container here before too long. Now we've also got some more fig cuttings in our fig cutting tote here. So let's take a look at these. Here in our fig cutting tote, we've got 5 new varieties that I am rooting, and I started those on March 20th. And we've already started seeing some roots forming on most of these. This one is the Smith, and we've also got some green growth appearing on some of these as well. So this one is going to be going into the light here in the next couple of days, but as soon as they start getting some green growth, that's when you want to move those to the lights, whether they have roots formed or not. But so far, all the ones showing green growth have roots, so we should be good to move those here soon. And the rest of these, I think we've got roots on maybe 2 or 3 more of these guys, and they're doing really well. And it's surprising because these fig cuttings actually sat in someone's fridge for at least a month. I think he said they were in the fridge for at least since Christmas. So it's been a couple months, and I'm surprised how well they're rooting despite them being not so fresh. And also I did use parafilm on the tops of these cuttings because I did have a little bit of a problem in my previous cuttings getting a little bit of mold on the tops of the cuttings because of the high humidity. So this parafilm will protect the cuttings from getting any mold, and so far everything is looking really good. Here we have our tomato shelf, and we've got 96 tomato plants on this shelf. That is all I could fit. I actually have 4 more that I had to put on a different shelf because I didn't have room on this one. So we've really got a total of 100 tomato plants. Now only about 18 of these will go in our garden, and the rest will be available for sale locally. So if you are local and need some tomato plants, let me know. But we've got 21 different varieties here. I'm still deciding which 18 I'll be planting, but I'll decide that, I guess, here pretty soon. But they are in these large 6-cell trays right now, and I just potted those up into these trays in the last week or so. Now they'll be getting repotted one more time before they get transplanted, and they'll go into some 3.5-inch single containers, and that will happen probably in about 2 weeks or so. Here is our pepper shelf. This is where all of our annuum peppers are. I won't go into too much detail on the peppers because I did just recently post a pepper update, and if you missed that, be sure to check that out. I've got 3 pepper in a cans here, and I think in my pepper update video, one of them had not germinated yet, but we do have all 3 germinated now, so they're all doing really well. I've also got on this shelf a lime basil because I have this in a larger container than my other basils, and that is the only lime basil I got to germinate, so I've got it moved down here with the peppers. And I've also got an eggplant Chinese string. That's another one that I have potted up in a larger container. And also this Malinalco tomatillo. And we've also got our rocotos back there. And I did top one of them because it was getting really tall and starting to flower, so I decided to just top that one. And I may also top this one too at some point, but so far I'm just letting it go. And I've also got some peppers that I recently moved over here to the grow tent. So these are the Chinense and Baccatum varieties that I have repotted into these tall 3.5-inch containers. So when I get these peppers repotted into these containers, that's when I like to move them to the grow tent because there's just a lot more room in here. And I do have the Mars Hydro TSL 2000 that I'm using in the grow tent. And so far, I just moved them in here just a couple days ago, and so far they seem to be enjoying it. Now on this shelf, we've got a wide variety of things. These are the most recently started things. This is the Yakina Savoy, which is a cool season green. And then we've also got some purple Mizuna, which is another green, and it's a little bit more heat tolerant. I was able to grow this, I don't think I grew it last year, but the year before it lasted most of the summer. And then over here we've got some zinnias. This is the Queen Lime Blush and some dwarf zinnias. I've got some more zinnias on another shelf, but there wasn't room to put them all together, so that's why I have these down here. And then we've also got some more peppers. These are the later started ones, and actually most of these were started in the cans, but because I started 3 or 4 extra seeds in the cans, I had a couple extras. So I just removed them from the can and repotted them in these containers. So we've got the Marbles, the Mini Chocolate, and Count Dracula. Those were all started in the cans. And then I've also got some Antohi, Romanian, and Aconcagua that I also started a little bit later. And then we got some flowers. This is Gomphrena, and this is probably about ready to repot into some larger containers, probably some 4-cell trays. We've got Strawberry Fields and Mandarin Orange. I didn't have very good germination on the Mandarin Orange. We've only got 2 that have come up, and this one is pretty small, so not very happy with that one, but the Strawberry Fields did much better. And then behind here we've got some Lilac Ice Petunias, and I actually forgot I had seeds for this, and I started these a lot later than my other petunias that I have on another shelf, so I need to get these repotted into some 4-cell trays as well, and more peppers. And then let's move these out of the way so we could see what's behind here. Oh, so these are the other petunias that I started. So these were started about a month before the other petunias I just showed you, but we've got some blue and yellow wave petunias that I got from seeds from my mom that she saved. And we've actually got some that are starting to bloom. I don't recall these blooming so early when I grew them before, but these are still in 4-cell trays, which they really do need to be repotted into some larger containers. So I'm going to be doing that here probably this week. Now this tray here, we've got some more stuff. Here's our missing tomatoes that didn't fit on the other tray. So we've got 4 of those. These are the Bonnie's Best. And then we've got some true potato seeds. So these are the ones that I started from potato berry seeds that I saved from my garden last year. And these are probably about ready to get repotted into some larger containers as well. And then we've got some calabrochas. We've got a red and a yellow, and I did just top these because they were getting pretty tall. So these will be bushing out a little bit more here pretty soon. And then our Cosmos, these are, and I had this problem last year. For some reason, my Cosmos always get really leggy, no matter how close I have the light to them. But we've got 6 different varieties here, but unfortunately the Velouette, which was in this cell, I didn't get any of those to germinate for some reason. So we don't have any of those. So we actually only have 5 varieties. And then these are the marigolds. And I did start some more marigolds because I wanted a few more of those for selling. And then we've got another zinnia back here. This is the Berneri's Giant Orange. And you can tell it is definitely a giant. I do have this in a 3.5-inch container already because it just had a lot more roots than the other zinnias and it needed a bigger container. So I have that one over here by itself. Here is our last shelf of starts. We've got something new that we're trying this year. This is sesame. And I'm not sure how well that will grow here. I think it takes a long time for it to go to seed. So if we don't have a super wet fall, then maybe I'll get some of these. But we've got a tan and a black variety that we're growing. And then here is some more eggplant. This is Hansel eggplant, which I've grown a few times. And then we've also got some long purple and more Chinese string. The long purple, I think the seeds were kind of old and I didn't have very good germination. We've got one here and then this one back here is really tiny. I'm not sure if that one is going to make it or not. And then over here we've got Veronica, which I believe is a perennial flower. I haven't grown it before, but I've heard good things about that, so I'm looking forward to trying that. And then here's some more of that Malinalco tomatillo. And this is an interesting variety of tomatillo. It gets really, really big and kind of oblong shaped, so it's kind of different. But I'm looking forward to trying that one. And then here's another tray of those tomatillos. And then this is the other marigolds that I just started about a week ago. So we're just starting to see some germination. And I am doing a test on the marigolds to see which way to plant the seeds would work best. So I've got one cell I planted flat, one cell I planted pointy side down, and another one that I planted pointy side up. So stay tuned for that experiment video. And then in the back there, we've got some more zinnias, and there's a lot more varieties back here. We've got Pop Art, we've got Peach Cinderella, and some more Dwarf Envy, which is a green variety, and some more of the Queen Lime Blush. And then lastly, we've got our basil. So I've got regular sweet basil and then the purple opal basil. So I'm only doing 2 varieties of basil this year. I thought about doing Thai basil as well, but I decided to just go with those 2. I hope you enjoyed the update and seeing what's going on in the grow room. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.